Warriors Unite! Back with another episode of Regular Warriors 2 and the 1% Club. Hope you guys are doing well, my friends. Hope you guys are conquesting yourselves and everything around you. We're going to talk about that a little bit in our video today. Hope you guys are following God's purposes, the rules that he's putting down for you guys. Tremendous, avoiding temptation, achieving your goals, becoming the best high-value male you can become. All right, so some shout-outs before we start. Optical Man, thank you as usual. Mark Anthony, tremendous. Keep it up, my friend. Elliot Jones, Harold Mereweather, Jason, dollo, TKO, Jon the Dawn. You guys are all constant viewers. I appreciate it. SK Motorcycle, it was 485 days at this point. I'm sure it's longer. Great job. Grave Offense, day 25. Keep it up, my friend. I think it's probably longer than that as well. Darkness 77, 63 days. Keep it up, my friend. Lightning Dark, Tyler, Olga, thank you, and Leon W. Starting again. That's great. Never stop, my friend. You may relapse, but continue to move on. And IIIFrencyIII, thank you. Or 123. 1100 Frenchie, thank you. I appreciate that very much. All right, guys. So our topic, and this comes from a few people, but not just one individual itself. So the topic for our discussion today focuses on that semen retention should be a beginning, not a magic cure when dealing with women. So when dealing with women, semen retention should be a beginning, not a magic cure. So a lot of you guys are talking about, and I've had some people who said negative things as well about the fact that this is not working, semen retention is not working. Let's go back and examine why we do semen retention, why we focus on this, and how it affects your relationship with women. Because this seems like a lot of your questions you guys, warriors, are asking. All right, so first of all, the first thing you have to realize is that men and women are different when it comes to energy and knowledge of energy. And I know this from having daughters that are younger, ages 11, 12, 13. Their instincts kick in, and all they do is focus on boys and understanding boys, observing boys, looking at energy patterns, all that sort of thing. So they know, and they can work with energy patterns a lot earlier than men can, in my opinion. There could be exceptions, but for the most part, warriors, men, we struggle until we get older to actually figure out what's going on in a lot of relationships because we're very task-oriented. We're out there trying to achieve goals. We're not really thinking about women. We are maybe in a physical way, but beyond that, not too much. And so basically, not until we get into our 20s, mid-20s, that we may think about settling down and doing it. So women have a distinct advantage, and we have to understand that. We have to understand that they understand energy, and this is why they become highly attracted to your energy. Now, at the same time, you have to learn how to control that energy, or else you're going to lose it, and you'll become unattractive to women as well. But retention is only the beginning, because once you learn how to control yourself, now you become a very powerful individual. And this is what attracts people to you. They want to be around your energy. They like your energy. They sense it. They feel it. They can also feel when you're drained out. And so this is why we tend to look at the idea of retention as being the hardest thing to do. Once you're able to accomplish that, and you feel stronger, whether you're in monk mode and whether you're just no fapping at this point, you become stronger. And now you become attractive because now you don't have to chase women. You're basically not in there just for getting intercourse, making love to women. You're not just in it for that. You're basically doing your own thing, achieving your goals, trying to better yourself physically, mentally, those type of things. Now, women become highly attracted to you not only because of the retention energy level, but because your confidence level is at the point where you're not chasing women. And women love attention. They love attention like most people do, but especially women. And they're used to having this Disney model that we talk about, where men are chasing the women around, the prince chases the princess, all that, and earns the hand of the princess. That model has been in place for 100 years now. But women expect that. And most men, they're beta males, they're wussies in my case, in my ideas. They're giving into this. They're being weak and basically being desperate for women and women's approval, validation. And so because of that, women don't give them the validation, or they play games with them, all kinds of stuff like that. What ends up happening is that if you exert some level of self-control and you're able to stop these behaviors with yourself, and you don't need validation, once you are able to retain, you'll see a huge difference. And for those naysayers who basically say this is BS and all that, I would recommend you guys try it, because you're gaining a level of confidence in yourself that you don't really care about validation. And as I'm on like 1,200 days or something like that at this point, I don't really care about validation. This is why I've been able to do these videos over the last couple of years. I used to care a lot before that. I don't care now. I mean, I'm trying to get the information out. I'm not doing it for monetary reasons. I'm doing it because I really want to kind of help a lot of the younger men out, because I suffered through a lot of these type of things myself, for many, many years. And I could tell you that women will reject you because you are too simpish. And I used to be simpish. I used to be in that category. I used to be someone who was desperate all the time. And I didn't realize it because I never was taught a lot of these things we're talking about. And so basically, I fell for a lot of this myself. But what ends up happening is that if you become strong, you not only attract people because of your aura and energy, which they sense. You also attract because women do also understand the idea that you're not just chasing them. Now, all of a sudden, they want to chase you. And this has happened. I've seen this happen thousands of times. It's happened to me. And I'm a married man. And these women still are highly attractive, flirting, and all kinds of things. They don't really care, because the bottom line, guys, is that the way you make women feel, they feel special. When you have that energy and you look them straight in the eye, and you basically have that control that you don't need to be jumping after them all the time, and basically you can just walk away from them anytime you want to, because you're not invested in, the only thing is, you're not invested in them, you're invested in yourself. Now they want to come after you. And once again, this is a good and bad thing. In my case, I can deal with it at this moment because it's a flattery thing, and I'm not, I don't move past that level. I have control, at least at this point, to say I'm not really that interested, that type of thing, because I'm married and all that kind of stuff too. So I'm not really that interested at this point in my life. But the thing is that you have that control because you're able to control yourself. You're not just chasing people. And in the meantime, the self-control just begins the process. The magic cure, the self-control, is starting with retention, but then moving to other levels to eliminate a lot of other addictions you have. A lot of times men get in trouble because they drink a lot. They get in trouble because they do drugs a lot. They end up getting in trouble because they eat a lot. All these things are these types of things that can get you in trouble. And on top of that, then you have the women. Gambling's another one of those things. Men get in trouble in gambling. And, I always remember this picture in my mind. Going to casinos in Las Vegas, you're sitting there at the tables, you come back, and who's standing by the door is all the lovely ladies, who want to kind of work with you there. And they want to do things with you and also spend your money, right? So the thing is that it's all a scam to be able to tempt you away. And this is what the evil one does. The evil one's trying to tempt you away from your self-control and thinking about God first. God is your number one. Your creator is number one. So as you think about your creator, then all of a sudden these other things are not that important to you. And the more stronger you become in your background, your faith, the more you become stronger with dealing with all these temptations. It's a continual battle, which is why I always call them battle on. I call warriors unite. I know some people don't like me yelling and screaming, but the thing is, it is a battle. Every day is a battle, because you never know when the evil one's going to try to hit you at a certain spot and kind of at your weak point and take advantage of you, and now you're stuck in a situation. A lot of women who are very strong with this energy, they understand it, they can basically put a spell on you. Now, the people used to joke about this, there's songs about all this kind of stuff, but it's an actual spell in a sense, because what they're doing is they're trying to draw you in with their attention and they want the attention back. And so they know men are very visual. So when men see a woman, they become attracted. The other thing that women do is that they ask for help a lot, and they act like they need your help. Men, and this is part of a lot of the research that I've discovered, that women will fall in love when they make love. Men fall in love because they're doing things for women. And so if you find a woman that you're doing a lot for, is ask you to depend on you, and we go back to the old male idea of protection and providing, men can fall very victim to this idea that women need men. And so if they do that, and the newer women nowadays have no clue about this, and this is why they have so many bad relationships. If they know that men are givers, and men are givers by nature. We give when it comes to having children, our energy, all this kind of stuff. So men are givers. So if you are sitting there with a young lady and she needs things, the temptation is there to fall in love with that person, or at least fall in love with that idea. That because of that, then you become really hooked in, and you become hooked in. And this is where men who are trying to achieve goals and do things can get caught distracted. This is why your whole idea of self-control becomes important. You got to get away from that spell. And I call it a spell. It's the energy vampire suckers. They have that spell, just like Dracula used to have that hypnotic spell. Women have the same kind of hypnotic spell on you. You got to pull away. What you do in these type of situations, if you're in this kind of spell, is you take one day at a time and you move away, get back to doing your thing. Don't think about the woman. Keep focusing on yourself and move away from thinking about women. The more you think about women, the more you're going to be into this trap. And if you find yourself in this trap, which we all have been in this trap many times, because the spell can hit us any moment, all of a sudden, move away from that and start moving into your own things. Go and work out. Don't sit and brood about it, think about it. Especially if a woman rejects you, just move on. Continue your achievement. And part of that is self-control. Part of that is your ability to be able to achieve goals, money-wise, spiritually, physically. All these things are important. That becomes you a high-value male. Now, but being a high-value male, you're not going to be devoid of all these temptations, because the women will come after you. The less you pay attention, the more you think about yourself, the women will come after you like crazy, because they sense this. And it's backwards, my friends. I realize this, but the idea is that women tend to go after men who don't care about them, don't show any kind of interest. It's almost like a challenge. And a lot of times they'll come after you because you're self-control, because of this. This is why we talk about battles. When a battle is won, that is the most dangerous time for an army, because they're going to let down. You don't want to let down, because then the enemy can still attack you and hit you at the end, and you got to be careful of that. So, and not saying that women are the enemy. I'm just saying that we're talking about the devil and temptation, and you got to keep your energy, keep strong. There's nothing wrong, and don't get me wrong, nothing wrong with having a great relationship with a young lady if that's what you want, but just realize that there's got to be, and you go back to stoicism a little bit here, you go back to detachment. Having detachment enough to be in yourself. Do not put the woman in the center of your life when it comes to women. This is why the magic cure is not really retention, but it's self-control. If you're able to control yourself and you can able to achieve your goals and move ahead, then you don't have to worry about this idea of attachment. It's great to enjoy it, but here's the philosophy I always have taken now over the last number of years. If you want to be with me, that's great. If you don't, fine, I'm moving on. Don't take it personally. Move into your success level. Women should not define you. You should be defining the women, because women want your energy. They want you. And we could talk about this back and forth all you want. I'm sure a lot of women may not agree with this, but the idea is that women want your energy. They are attracted, especially if you're not attracted to them, and it's hard, they can't get you. They want you every more. And I've seen this thousands of times. So the bottom idea is that if there's somebody you like, great. but don't focus on them. Focus on retention as a beginning, and then continuing to build self-control in your nutrition, your dieting, of course, but working out, your spiritual, your intellectual. Continue to grow as a person, and you'll be a high-value male. And then, whenever you want to make the choice of a female in your life, you have that choice. Don't go back and allow her and those women to make those choices. You make those choices. All right, friends, thank you for a great topic. I know several of you guys talked about this. I wanted to kind of bring it up a little bit and talk about that. You know, we talk about retention. That's not that's only the beginning. But the beginning is the hardest, because a lot of males in this generation struggle because of all the images and releasing all the time, and they can't control themselves. We've got to learn how to control ourselves to win this battle. All right, my friends, enough for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Always two things to keep you guys in mind. First, every day is a new day to a great warrior. And number two, guys, continue to battle on!